So SalesScreen is a sales performance software that uses gamification and visualization of KPIs to increase employee engagement, productivity, and in the end, of course, help generating more revenue for the sales team. My role today is a bit mixed. I work as a Chief Product Officer as well as Head of Customer Success team. And I'm also one of the co-founders of SalesScreen, so I have been here for around 9 years now. So a lot of experience in different roles within the company over the years. In the early days, we didn't actually have a customer success team. We typically had an account director that handled everything from prospecting to customer relationships. At that time, we used Salesforce as an enabling tool for sales. And we also used that partially to follow up the customers and all of that. But as we grew and when we started implementing an actual customer success team, we saw that Salesforce were lacking a bit, not to follow up on the tasks and those kind of things, but lacking what is actually happening within our software. What features are being adopted, how many of the users are actually active, being able to work more proactively on those customers that actually needs help instead of just regularly following up the portfolio. For me, there's really no way back, because once you get that insight and understanding of what's actually going on, because not everything is told in clear text in meetings. So being able to understand how they use it and build your strategy in terms of how you can deliver more value to the customer, it's essential. And I don't think going back to something else would make sense for us anytime soon. I think we followed up more on a regular basis, and maybe one of the key points to choosing CustomerSuccessBox were being able to define the process with the playbooks, but at the same time combining that with the milestones and the objectives and outcomes that you want to search for in that process. Everything from around 30 days to 3 months is typically where an onboarding takes place. And it's a lot of moving parts with integration and the technical side, as well as training of all team managers, as well as end users, typical sellers. Before CustomerSuccessBox, the process wasn't that much defined and were hard to keep track of and make sure that you remember all the steps. So being able to structurize the process into a playbook and combine that with, again, data, and to be able to see if the customer is actually doing what you agreed to in the onboarding plan, and correct along the way if things are not going as planned, instead of losing a week and you're falling behind the original plan. It's been a challenging year. I think many agrees to that, but we actually have been able to reduce churn in the onboarding phase by 10% this year compared to last year. And given the circumstances, I think that's a very positive outcome. Throughout these years, this year we have been more or less the same team, but we have gained new customers. But we have been able to be more effective in terms of if you spend your time on those who need it at the right time, that will save a lot of time in total, instead of doing more like process where you go from customer to customer on a regular basis. But spending the time where it's actually needed I think is key to make it more efficient and actually deliver more value as well to the customer. The health scoring is an important overall part, but the functionality with the alerts, not only on the negative side, because we tend to focus on what's not working or who is not using, but also putting in alerts when it's the other way around, like when a customer is actually doing really well or getting that value from the product. It's as important to talk with them and learn from them and take that learning over to those who maybe need a little more help. So being able to set up alerts and being notified about this, and basically being a lot more proactive. So we, as I mentioned, have gained more customers this year. We have currently the same team, so being able to have more customers with the same team. And also we have increased the overall retention by 8% compared to last year. And we've been very focused on, that's a big natural next step for us to work more on a strategic level with our customers. I think we've been able to reduce the amount of time spent in the onboarding, but at the same time deliver a lot more value at the right time. For me, there's no option to not have a customer success tool. It's definitely a key part of the everyday process, and I think it helps the CSMs in their job, and it also helps me in my position to get an overview of customers in onboarding, in renewal, how they're doing, and where we can take actions.